Good morning, everyone. Good day. GJ is moving nice, but it's moving really quickly. I didn't expect it to drop so quick. So you guys would know on yesterday's video, we covered GJ and we basically explained with this weekly structure pattern that laid out, the first 4 hour candles for a breakout to the upside, and then we had that information laid out over there. So as you guys can see, that pretty well because we had a breakout candle and we had 1, 2, 3 candles in that candles range before it went into the zone. And we can clearly see that price went slightly above Monday's high, Monday and Tuesday's highs, and basically just snatched those orders and then price ran with it. Now, I did say that I am bearish on GJ4 and GU for the interest decision, and also just to go back to strategy with the method I pointed out to you guys yesterday. Look how perfectly it ran to the institutional zones, and even just with the breakout, just notice the candle over here, how this wick basically played out. It's really nice. So let's go a bit deeper on GJ and see what happened yesterday. So I'm going to do it in the 15-minute chart. Now, remember, this was the zone we intended price to basically go to so we can buy. I think we're looking for buys yesterday. Well, no, I can't remember. But I do know that I took a buy here yesterday when price broke above this institutional zone over here. So when price broke above the zone, that's when I entered, and then I ran this trade all the way to here, and I made about $200 on the funded challenge. So that was the only trade that worked out well yesterday, because initially also why I took it was because price bounced off this order block, and there's a pattern that formed over here. Like I said, also this liquidity was snatched over here. So just how price came back into the zone, that was really interesting. But like I said, I wasn't here at the bottom at the moment. So then this retest. So this retest basically was the confirmation I needed for this trade. Let's go a little bit more deeper into this. So there was liquidity over here. See how it tapped into the weekly structure box, and notice how price. Let me just remove this. So price didn't run all the way to here, so it didn't release these traders last night. And just to give you an idea of that decisions on here, you would see that this is the start of a new day. So this was Asia, actually the beginning of. No, this is still this day basically. No, this is this morning, or just before midnight, 15 minutes before midnight. How they ended the day with a big fake move, a big rand downside, and whoever sold basically at this point got snatched, And as you can see right now, this box is blown out for Tokyo. So initially, what I wanted to see today would be price running all the way, taking out the Asian highs, but I doubt that's going to happen. Price has definitely left the zone. Price has shifted in character, and we have also had give you an idea of what I'm talking about. There's a change of character that took place over here. Why I say this because price came back into this fair value, dropped, and then we had a break of structure over here. So it's hard to say now what's actually going to happen on GJ based on tomorrow, because it kind of seems that price has moved the direction that we intended. If it is still bearish, the question then is, where is it going to reverse to. So we're going to have to look for something like this to happen. We're going to have to see price retrace into a zone and then, take out these zones, because currently, just looking at trend, the sentiment is now bearish. So we are basically, this was basically that retracement. So yeah, we could actually still see some movement, some bearish movement tomorrow, especially if we see something like this happening right now. There would be something it would have to retrace to around these zones and then see something like that happen. However, also, if it does just continue dropping, if we see a straight drop through the zone, the next zone will be the 50% of the shift candle with price basically shifted the market away. And then from there on, potentially, if price basically stays above the zone until tomorrow, and only tomorrow, maybe let's say in London session, price then moves towards the downside because they will obviously be the first move today, then we could see an action from this zone. A quick move to the upside. Now from here, just until here will be 50 pips. It's GJ, so it moves a lot of. So even if it has to retrace just to the high of this box, that will be about 60 pips. And I mean, if you can catch that in like a minute or two, I mean, it's still a good trade. So let's go a bit deeper on GJ and just see. Because also initially, by looking at this, this was weak. Okay, we didn't take out these highs, so it's very hard to say. It's very hard to say. But okay, let's draw out potential zones price could retrace to right now on GJ. Fair value, more fair value. So these are two zones. So I can't really draw put a Fibonacci, but actually I can. We just have to do it in a reversed way. Yeah, so looking at this, even if I draw it the opposite way, even if I draw it from this high this way, still the same thing will basically occur. Because if you look at it, notice how price reacted at the 88%, 88% and finally broke. Now notice how the next point becomes the 50% of the zone. So no, I would be bearish right now on GJ up until the zone. So there's still about 40 pips to go. So if we could have a reaction, initially I would want to see reaction from here to buy. But if we see price retrace, something like this, that could happen. Price could also violate the zone and go and come to the zone, something like that. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I wouldn't recommend buying right now at this point. Maybe we'll have to see. I'm just gonna leave this on here. Let's hop to the 15-minute. So like I said to you guys before as well, always map out when it actually ended. So right now, as you can see, market is gaining momentum, but the actual low is actually over here. That's actually Asia. How so let's just say, and then obviously this would be our Asian highs. So I know my charts look a bit messy. There's a lot of lines and stuff on here, but don't get confused. As long as you know where the highs and lows are. Most of this indicator makes it looks like that. But I like the way it looks because I can actually see where the price is reversing from. And so basically right now we'll just have to see because based on this breakout, we'll have to see now when London starts now at 9 o'clock, which will basically be from here, which is in a few minutes. And then if we see some sort of, like I said, I wouldn't want to buy from here, but if you could see like a change of character, take place, and then run towards these zones, then we could potentially, buy yourself in these zones, especially since the Asian box is blown out. So that's a zone. That's a 50%, but then that's a zone. So as you can see, if we refine this, that becomes the fair value. And this is actually just an unmitigated order block over here. So maybe I'll just make this a different color. So initially, like I said, it's hard to put the fib on here right now because price is still moving. But if we maybe put it to the zone, we could see something. Okay, so if this is 50%, that's equilibrium. So that could be reaction. And then just looking at the 618, it does kind of fall in line with this fair value. However, there is a fair value gap over here as well. So, and an unmitigated order block. So let's see what happens when price reaches either this or this zone, and then we can look to sell because I don't think we would retrace that far. And then, yeah, let's see what happens.